FCCJ brought the heat to open the 1990s. At the request of the city of Jacksonville, the college launched a first-of-its-kind class designed to support female firefighter candidates as they prepare for the physical fitness test required of all applicants. It worked. By October, 19 women had made it through the class and into area firehouses. That spring, the first National Conference on Teaching and Learning took place at the Omni Hotel. Sponsored by the college's Center for the Advancement of Teaching and Learning, this conference took place annually through 2016, and over the years showcased technology, including a very early look at virtual reality. The conference was highly attended and featured nationally known speakers like novelist Bradbury and Pulitzer Prize-winning playwright Edward Albee. June of 1990 marked the dedication of The River, a 225-foot mural depicting 600 years of life along the St. Johns River. The project, created by 32 FCCJ students and their art professor Ann Banas on the east side of the Profilers building on Forsyth Street, was made possible after the college introduced 2 new courses, Mural Painting 1 and 2, into the state curriculum. In November, fire rescue training officially came to South Campus, where it remains to this day. The Jacksonville Regional Fire Rescue Training and Education Center could train up to 200 firefighters at a time in 5 classrooms, 8 outdoor sites, and a 6-story training tower. That same month, the college dedicated the H.D. Bow Cotton Student Center at North Campus, which would house the Institute of the South for Hospitality and Culinary Arts. And in December, the college rededicated the college administration building as the Donald T. Martin Center for College Services. Martin was a charter member of the FJC Advisory Committee, which became the District Board of Trustees, serving from 1965 to 1979, longer than any other individual, including 8 years as board chair. 1991 heralded the opening of the Nassau Outdoor Center. The complex set in the deep woods included several small buildings and a ropes course, and was also home to snakes, deer, and guinea hens the college brought in to eat the ticks and scorpions. Come March, the Institute of the South for Hospitality and Culinary Arts opened the Mallard Room at North Campus, an upscale restaurant where students and faculty could get lunch entrees like avocado stuffed with crab meat or pork tenderloin with riled rice and mushrooms for just $5. Culinary and hospitality students worked in the Mallard Room to gain real-life experience to pair with their classroom studies. Over the summer, Ann Banas and her art students were hard at work painting again, this time in the lobby of the A building at downtown campus. In August, the college unveiled their completed mural. The Family of Humanity was 60 feet long and 10 feet high, and represented 30 faces from 30 cultures to reflect the campus's international community. Coming up on its 25th year, the college continued to have a huge impact on the North Florida community. Nearly 15% of all adults in Duval and Nassau counties took at least one course at FCCJ in 1990. That's 90,000 students. After 2 years of work, FCCJ launched Read, Write, and Research, a 24-segment telecourse for ENC 1102 English Composition. In the past, the college had bought courses like this from other schools, but when they couldn't find what they needed, the Open Campus Media production crew teamed up with 2 professors and a professional scriptwriter to produce its own. Eventually, other colleges heard about the telecourse and wanted to use it, so FCCJ contracted with PBS to distribute it all over the United States, as well as in Canada and Mexico. Billed as a groundbreaking, but really more of a curtain pulling.
1, 2, 3, pull!
The Urban Resource Center started life as a 62,000-foot medical clinic. The college stripped it down to its steel studs and rebuilt it to include 6 classrooms, 2 computer testing centers, and 7 computer labs. By the time it was officially dedicated 2 years later, 30 area businesses had already used the center for company training, and 500 students had taken classes there. Students in the college's ESL, or English as Second Language program, worked together to create their own cookbook to help build their language skills and encourage cultural exchange. They published My Mother is in the Chicken in the spring of 1992. At the time, the ESL program boasted 1,500 students from 78 different countries. FSCJ celebrated its 25th anniversary during Community College Week in April. Events included an exhibition baseball game between the FSCJ Stars and the Jacksonville Suns. We lost. An array of displays and presentation from ice carving to IT at the Jacksonville Landing, and an attempt to set a record for the world's largest yearbook. In August, the School of Cosmetology outgrew its home at Kent campus and moved to North, now offering its low-cost salon services to students and the public on a new side of town. In the fall of 1993, cheerleading returned to FSCJ. The squad of both men and women cheered at men's and women's basketball games. The Grande Boulevard Mall finally became FSCJ property in February of 1994. Owning the building allowed the college to make much-needed renovations and increase space and services for students. Come fall, FSCJ teamed up with Theatre Jacksonville for the return of Shakespeare at the Met, that's Metropolitan Park downtown in this case, and a production of As You Like It. And although we've been using stages all over Jacksonville for shows for years with the college's academic community theater program, the college was finally about to get its own main stage at South Campus, as work began on what would become the Wilson Center for the Performing Arts. The four-building complex, including 2 theaters, a costume shop, band and dance rehearsal halls, a meeting facility, and an art gallery, would eventually increase the size of South by 30% and promised a first-rate theater and productions the community could be proud of.